So then when we look at our points, we have something came out wrong with this point total. Okay, so there's 1 point in there. You see it came out 0 is the I am, so I'll have to fix that. Okay, one I am, 2 I have, no Gemini, 2 feeling for Cancer, 3 I will for Leo, the fire, 3 I analyze for Virgo, 1 I balance, 2 I desire, understand, use, know, believe, those aren't there. So I will and I analyze are the most powerful accentuated signs and the keywords. I will, I analyze, I have, I feel, I desire, coming right behind it. Okay, just enough to look at it like that. When we look at the daylight increasing and the darkness increasing, here we're seeing really profound distinctions. Here you're seeing the 3 points daylight increasing, but 11 points darkness and greater. So if you have this Sun, Leo, Moon, and Taurus, the energy of the chart is moving towards belonging, towards being part of other people, towards responsibility more than freedom. So you have this very seemingly free Sun, Moon, Leo, Taurus that's moving towards, I want to belong, I want to be responsible, I want commitments, that moves towards these, the Saturn on the bucket and the ending of the old, and I have to get to somewhere new. But it's the momentum is towards belonging more, not being so much on one side. Here I'm on my own, but it's got to change. Here I am in really, it's going to change. So, but the momentum is always towards what commitments, what has to be done, what involvement, what belonging. The momentum is towards being part of others more than being alone. And on the other side, daylight is greater 11, darkness is greater 11. So still, there's the strong sense of here I am, here I am, way more than here we are. So the we us sense is really strong. The independence is very independent, but the need to, that independence is always moving. Let me do this for you. Let me show this for you. I'm here for you. There's a need to get attention and to participate, to be involved. So I get a lot of, I like these daylight increasing and darkness increasing, daylight is greater. I like these totals. Whenever you get to these totals, they tell you a lot of information. They're really useful and they're seeable. And then the background that comes adding to the factors we've already seen. So then we see, then we do winter, spring, summer, fall. So here you see it, the summer is 8, spring is 3, autumn is 3, winter. So the summer is by far, for Leo, the most active and powerful time. Spring and autumn, not too bad. There's something, but winter is not energized time. Okay, so that's really just grouping the two, the daylight increasing, the darkness increasing 11 and the daylight is greater. That shows you how it spreads out between the spring, summer, autumn. When you look at the cardinal fixed immutable, we have 4 cardinal, 7 fixed, 3 mutable. So there's some mutable, there's some fixity, but there's some cardinal, some push, there's some drive, but really the determination, the consistency, stubbornness, fixedness, tenacity is the strongest factor. The need to be steady, to be maintained. This is who I am. Okay. So I get the sense here that when you see the Saturn on the handle and you see the moon phase going towards coming to the new phase, the light's changing, it's changing. I'm here, that here's me, the 11 points me. But it's going to be changing, and it's changing to greater darkness. It's changing to towards the new moon. It's changing to a new beginning. Here's the me. How long can I make it last? I can feel it's changing. So you see the fixity, trying to maintain the I me, but at the same time, it's moving towards the we us. And the sense that I'm in this position, here I am, but how long can I maintain it? How long can I stay here? So these patterns we're looking at, they would show in 1,000 different ways, at home, at work, in relationship. You'd see this in different manners, but you'd expect this proportion to be there and this quality to stand out. Fire 4, air 1, earth 5, water 4. So when it comes to the earth, fire, air, water, air is the weakest element. That's her 1 Libra ascendant. So communication and expressing herself is the weakest element. Her fire, there's fiery emotion, there's watery emotion, her ability to be active, to be emotional. Emotions, there's a lot, that's a fair amount of water. And there's fiber, there's a practical side inside of this. That moon in Taurus builds up the practical side. But it's the water that didn't show up so much before now. You see, there is a sympathetic side. What there isn't is the tendency to communicate about it, to just say where one's going. There may be a tendency to just be quieter and not express the worries or that it's changing or this or that. It just might be more inclined to think for oneself and people would see the fire, earth, and air and water more. Okay, so that practical side, we saw that with the I analyze being strong. That's the analytical Virgo, the analytical practical side. But the fire and the water are both there. So that's highly active, the fire, and very sensitive emotionally and judgmental with the water. Okay. So she might be in a position and feel it's changing, and she not maintaining a position is going to change. She's going to be very judgmental about those things. 5 masculine, 9 feminine. Yes, this is the second most. This is not the most extreme, but it's notice it distinguishable. So there's more reflection here than there is projection. So that accentuates more the moon side of reflecting than the sun side of projecting. Okay, just as simple. Okay, when you look at the rulerships, the sun in Leo rules 3, rules itself and Jupiter. The moon rules 2, it's just itself in Taurus. Mercury rules, there's 3 planets in Virgo, it rules those. Venus, it's in Virgo, so it's ruled by Mercury, but it rules 3 planets, the Libra and the Taurus, the Libra rising in Taurus. Mars in Scorpio rules itself, and Neptune and the Saturn. Jupiter and Saturn don't have rulership, so Saturn's not rulership, even though Saturn's accentuated in many ways. Here, all of the planets, Sun, Mercury, Venus, Mars, are all accentuated. It's fairly significant. They're all the same level. It's important to her to accentuate her confidence. It's important for her to accentuate her thoughts. It's important to feel like you have to have a good relationship to the sun, a good relationship to the mind, a good relationship to Venus, to the emotions, to what one wants or doesn't want, a good relationship to Mars and what one's doing. All of those need to be in place. It's kind of a bigger order. When you just have one planet demanding, you have to take care of that one planet. Here she's got to live up to the bunch of them. It's much more diversified rulership. So when you're dealing with the planet that rules, as long as that planet is expressing itself well, your chart will work well. You will have your life. So one ruler is there, you have one main rulership. You have to make sure you're taking care of that rulership. Here there's 3, 4 that are 3 points. So there's a lot of things that one has to go up to. It's not so simple. It's much more complicated. And when the moments when she has these things all together, her chart will shine. But the minute she weakens on any one of these factors, it's going to start showing up in other types of difficulties or problems that would come down from wrong guidance. See, the rulers are like guiding your energy. They're setting a standard to guide you. And if you're not in a good relationship to them, so it's important for her to have a good relationship to her confidence, for a good relationship to how she thinks, for a good relationship to what she values, for a good relationship for what she's doing. And as long as she contains all of these things, she's in a big point of confidence. But as soon as any one faces, it's that will have the effective not tapping into that rulership as well as one could. Okay, so yeah, we're just going to take from here. I'm going to go up to, and take the, okay. So here we're going to look at the houses. Well, actually, I'll keep them so we can see both of them. This here. Okay. So when we're looking at the houses, 2 points values, 1 point partnership, 2 points trust, 3 points honor, 1 point friendship, 3 points conscience. So honor and conscience, respect, 10th house and conscience. What's right, what's wrong. So she's really conscientious of what she accomplishes or doesn't, about her position or not position. Okay, that's it. That's enough. When we look at the rising setting and above below the rising setting, 9 points rising, 3 point setting. Okay, so with the daylight increasing, the darkness was increasing 11 points, daylight increasing 3. So the momentum by attitude, by sign, was moving to belonging, to being part, to being, her attitudes are going to be moving towards participating, getting more and more involved. Her houses by circumstances, 9 points rising means she's having to instigate and project where she's coming from the IC to the ascendant up to the midheaven, 9 points rising. So that's projecting where you're coming from. She has something to project. She's got to project her energy, but in projecting her I, me energy, she's projecting it to belong and participate more. But still, she's going to be very more instigative in her projection than reactive. So there's a funny balance here. She could be putting out energy for people, and they may not be, she's doing it for people or for someone, but they may think she's just doing it for herself. With the rising, she's not reacting so much to the other people. She's putting it out for other people, but the setting, the responding to others is weaker. Okay. And above the horizon 10, below the horizon 2, most of her energy is up in the functional world. I need to be functional. I need to be doing things in the world. I need to be achieving things. I need to be accomplishing things. I need respect and honor. So that need to be functional and the driving to be functional. This has to be done. I'll take care of this. I have to do this. I've got these responsibilities to Saturn. I'm going to go do that. She's going to be trying to take care of everything right away rather than letting it pile up. She's not going to want anyone to tell her what to do. She's pushing to do things. She's pushing to do things. She just wants others to react to her, and yet she's interreactive, but not as responsive. React setting below 3, below the horizon only 2. She doesn't take things. The emphasis is not on receptivity, on responding to others, the setting side, or on the subjective below the horizon. So much of what I'm doing is based on what's out there, and so much of what's out there needs to be worked on, and I'm going to be affected by. I'm going to achieve or not achieve. It's changing, but it's going to seem like it's not coming back. I'm putting all this out, but who's giving back to me, or where is it coming back to me? So there's a funny sense between the projecting and the participating, but the responding and taking energy in is more difficult or less likely to be there.